Hey guys. Hello. Hey. We'll let you guys get on in here. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday. Oh man. Today we are going to have a wonderful show. I think this show is going to be very informative. I have someone that is doing some awesome things in the community. You know, I'm all about the community. So without further ado, let's get started. Thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold, and I hope that you're having a wonderful weekend thus far. I know that I am. Now, of course, we know we are in the middle of a pandemic. So for all my wonderful listeners and my live viewers that are coming in right now via Facebook, please be safe. I know that we want to get out and we want to get back to life as usual, but we have to exercise precautions. Wear that face mask, man. You know, if you want to have those gloves, keep your Lysol on deck, hand sanitizer, and most importantly, wash your hands. Please, people, please do this, because we don't want to hear about anyone getting sick, and we definitely don't want to hear about any more people dying because of this COVID-19. Now, of course, you know, last week I had a wonderful guest come on. She was from KISD, the Chief Communications and Marketing Officer, and she talked about what's going on with KISD. Guys, be on the lookout. I'm going to have Copper's Cove ISD on and also Temple ISD. They're going to be talking about their precautions. As we know, these children are here and they're not going nowhere. They are going to be here for the rest of the school year. So guys, you know, I understand that it's a lot to take on, but love on your babies and have a wonderful time with them, because this is time we don't get every day. It is truly a blessing to be able to spend this time with your children. Without further ado, I have a guest with me who I had the pleasure of meeting. I was helping a friend out and I had the pleasure of meeting him. And on top of that, I also, there's a common connection that we have. And I just thought he was a really stand-up guy. And I really love what he was doing right here in Central Texas for our community, how he is helping people, to be able to get a place to stay. Also real estate investment and all types of other things. Like, I'm just going to allow him to introduce himself and just, you know, take over, because I want to hear all about it. And I'm sure you want to hear about it too.
Hey, everybody. First off, thank you, Toni, for having me on your show. I really appreciate the opportunity. My name is Hussein Mathman H. Abdullah. I'm the founder of HA Homes. And it's just a pleasure to be here.
Yes. So tell me, what is HA Homes?
Okay, HA Homes initially started out as just an LLC that I created to protect my assets. Mm-hmm. Previously, in a former life, I was a math teacher in New York City, and that's where the Mathman H comes in.
Okay.
And I invested in real estate, and as my assets began to grow, I started to speak with different people, and they told me, well, you know, you probably want to protect those assets, because if, God forbid, something would happen, I'd be risking my pension, future earnings, that sort of thing. So
yes,
it just started out that way, and it's grown into a whole lot more over the last 5 years.
Okay, so started off as a way for you to protect your assets. How did you go from being in New York, being a teacher, to now here in Texas, of all places, and helping people get into homes, helping out our homeless population, and, you know, just doing everything that you're doing?
All right, well, funny story. My brother was in the military, right? So shout out to all our troops. He was in the military, so he ended up staying in Texas. He loved Texas after his military service. And we started to speak about different real estate opportunities. And it worked out where the numbers were a lot better in Texas. Mm-hmm. So I ended up investing in Central Texas. My first investments were in Houston. And then fast forward a couple of years through Facebook. So shout out to Facebook. My current fiance happened to reach out just by chance. And we were able to connect in Texas. And she also co-signed the opportunities that were available in Killeen. So I first investment here, and that's how I ended up in Killeen. So it's actually a love story.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love love.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. Okay. So
Mhm.
y'all connected and then you decided to start your company here.
Right. Move here. I have an
Move
office
here.
in Brooklyn,
Okay.
and we decided that since this was a good place to invest, and she actually was familiar with Killeen,
Yeah.
that we should invest here. And long story short, the work just became amazing, and we've met with so many people, and the energy in Killeen is so great. I just wanted to be a part of it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. And so one of the things that I always say is I feel like Killeen is a hub. It's like an untapped jewel. Like, people like, people say a diamond in the rough. I believe that there is so much that we can do here as a community to help revitalize and build and grow. And so tell me a little bit about your properties and tell me a little bit. I have Kyle. I see him backstage. Kyle, if you hear us, wave. Can you? Okay, he can hear us. All right, I'm going to join him in here in just a second. He is going to talk to us a little bit. And some of you guys, I'm sure a lot of you in Killeen especially know who Officer Kyle Moore is. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the properties and what you're doing. And then I'm going to join Kyle in so he could talk a little bit about how y'all hooked up.
Okay, that's actually, it's perfect timing. It all worked out perfectly.
Yes.
So initially, I started out as an investor, and then I had some negative experiences with property management. We ended up with several pieces, so I decided that I would just take care of my own property management. And I met with some really awesome realtors. Shout out, Jesse Miles of the Miles Group, and he ended up putting me in a situation where I could end up growing property management through meeting Jesse and coming out here and going to different events and meeting with different people. I ended up meeting a brother named JJ. He's a great guy who connected me with Kyle. What I wanted to do in Killeen was start to gentrify. And a lot of times people feel like gentrification is a bad thing.
Okay.
I believe that gentrification could be a good thing if we empower the right people.
Right. If you give the people an opportunity to be able to stay in their community, build up their community, I can agree with that, as well, because we want to build up our community. You know what I mean? I think the biggest issue comes in, it's when people that have been there for years are being pushed out because they can't handle the property taxes. They can't have, though, as the property values go up, they're not able to sustain. So what would you do to help counteract that?
Well, one of the things that I'm doing is, like, for example, a week ago, I did a video about maximizing your stimulus check.
Right.
There are a lot of people who needed that check for rent or for bills, and that makes sense. But there are some people who were not laid off. They're essential workers. Shout out to all the essential workers. But then they just got like a stimulus check.
Right.
Some of them really didn't know what to do. So we put in a presentation where we said, well, with $1,200 in a city like Killeen, that could be a significant down payment towards a crowdfunding effort where we can now buy a home as a collective. And with a little bit of extra funds, now somebody who's a local can now end up owning a property, becoming a landlord, or actually owning the home and not ending up having to pay rent. So that's one of the ways that we're able to help people with just a small $1,200 contribution move forward and now end up a homeowner. And
right, because it's all about owning assets. You want to be an owner. You don't, like people say, you want to be the Bible even says want to be a lender, not a borrower. Like, you want to be able to give. You want to be able to have something of your own instead of always depending on someone else for your livelihood. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Officer Moore. Thumbs up if you can hear me, Officer Moore. Good. All right, let's bring them in. Here we go. And if you are just tuned in, you are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringgold. And today I have two wonderful guests with me. I'm just bringing in Officer Kyle Moore. What up, what up, what up?
What up, what up?
Peace, Kyle.
All in uniform and things.
Yeah.
Man, you at work right now. Listen.
Yeah, for a little bit more.
Okay. Look, first of all, I just got to let you guys know about Kyle Moore. This man, I have had him on my show, I think maybe once or twice, but I have watched him do some amazing things in the community. He truly, 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 truly cares and loves this community. He is doing everything he can to help out with our homeless population. I have seen him just give stuff like he is that person. And so, sometimes we have the stigma with, law enforcement, but he is definitely knocking down all the stereotypes, all the stigma. He is truly for the people. So I just have to say that real quick before I let him introduce himself and tell the world who he is. But I just want to let you know that Toni Ringgold, the B106, we vouch for you because you're doing your thing. All right. Tell them who you are, Kyle.
Well, I'm also Kyle Moore, work with the Killeen Police Department. I run the homeless outreach team. Been doing this, I guess we're in the third year of that. So a lot of times people think of the homeless, as just people that you see under the bridges and stuff. In all actuality, anybody can be homeless. I mean, you look at Killeen, some of the stats that we don't like to hear. Killeen was one of the tops in the state in evictions. So that's everybody. It ain't just people that's under the bridge. That's your everyday worker, whoever. So
I think you just touched on something, and I really wanted to clarify that, because a lot of times people, when they think of homeless, they think of, like you said, someone living under a bridge, pushing a shopping cart. But what is the definition of homeless?
Well, I mean, I can give you like the technical answer for homelessness. I believe I can Google the HUD definition. Is somebody that doesn't reside in a residence, or they're living in something not meant for inhabitation, or like burned down bridge, under a bridge, in the woods, dilapidated building, things of that nature. So it depends on what definition you're actually.
Well, the truth is,
KISD. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I just turned my radio down.
No, you were saying KISD. I cut you off.
Go ahead. Yeah. So like for KISD has a different definition of homelessness than we actually use for like our point in time count each that we do twice a year now. Mm-hmm. So let's just say your parents are deployed. So you got two parents that are in the military, and they get deployed, and then now you go live with grandma. Technically, you can qualify for HARP because you're not in your house. You're with somebody else, or a doubled up family. Whereas like if you're trying to, when we're counting the homeless every year, we can't count those individuals who are doubled up and tripled up, like it is going on here in Killeen.
Right.
So or living in the hotels, for example, there's a population that stays in the hotels from hotel to hotel. Technically, I can't count them as homeless, but in all actuality, we know that they're homeless because they don't have a home to reside at.
Right. A permanent place of residence.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about this. How did you two hook up? How did you guys get connected?
It's all by chance. I mean, the good, you end up meeting good people, and me working with the homeless outreach, I've always tried to surround myself with folks that are doers, if that makes sense. There's a lot of people that talk, and it's not to talk bad about anybody, but there's a lot of people that talk about things that they want to do. As he said, a mutual friend of ours, JJ, is a business owner here that we ended up connecting. Actually, Amanda Tyndall, she's our vice chair of our Central Texas Homeless Coalition, actually met him first as a homeowner. And she was like, "Hey, you need to call this guy, man. He's doing some good things." And so I want to give a shout out to Amanda. She used to work for Central County Services, or MHMR. Now she works for Endeavors, right there off of Old Info 440 by the new HEB.
Okay.
So I forgive me, it may not be Endeavors, but anyways, she works for a different company.
She works for somebody.
But but she hooked us up, and like I said, me and Hussein We've been able to house a couple of folks that I've worked with, that have been able to get jobs or stabilize themselves, whether if they have SSI, SSDI, things of that nature, working with housing vouchers and essentially just trying to work with those individuals to try to get them back on their feet. So that's what it boils down to. A lot of times you run into these landlords and owners that they kind of want unrealistic expectations, or they're trying to isolate a certain population away from their properties, if that makes sense. And we've been able to work with individuals and give people second and third, fourth chances depending on their situation.
Wow. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Tell me a little bit about, give me an example of someone you've been able to help. Hussein, I'm sure you could probably tell us about this.
Yeah, I have several, but basically we can kind of talk about how we met. Right. So we had a situation, right? We're all kind of living in this new situation with COVID-19. And I work very closely with, like Kyle said, the Central Texas Homeless Coalition. And one of the members is the head of Killeen Housing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I work, if you have a housing voucher, I'm going to work with you. Maybe you don't have your whole deposit. Maybe you need a piece. Maybe whatever it is. I'm going to work with you because I understand the importance of getting you in a home and then working off the debt or figuring something out, as opposed to having a lump sum up front.
Right.
So one of the gentlemen, again, a friend of yours, he came to us and he had the funds and he had a voucher, and his voucher was getting ready to expire. And we had a tough decision to make.
Right.
Because the CTCOG, right, the Central Texas COG, was closed due to this COVID situation. He was in a situation where his voucher was literally going to expire. I think it was April 1st.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it was like maybe March 28th. And I had a decision to make. Do I put this brother out on the street with his two siblings who were disabled just because? And I made an executive decision without knowing, right? I mean, we didn't know if he was going to have a housing voucher. We didn't know.
That's right.
Luckily, I spoke to my clients, the new landlords who believe in our vision, and they said, you know what? Put it in God's hands. We'll see what happens. We let that brother move in, right? We processed the paperwork, and then he got a letter from housing that said they're going to extend his deadline 2 more months.
Exactly.
Got turned down so many times because he didn't have a whole deposit, or he didn't meet the 3 times one income guideline.
Which is so ludicrous to me. Like, how, if a person could meet the 3 times, then why would they need a voucher in the first place? I didn't understand that. I understand because I was helping the same friend out and going to these different property management companies, and they're like, and it's like, okay, here's the voucher. This is before COVID. You know what I mean? Here's a voucher. Here's everything that you could possibly need. This is like guaranteed you're gonna get your rent. And then, oh well, I'm sorry, you don't make 2.5 or 3 times the. Well, if they made 3 times the rent, then they would not need the voucher in the first place. Like, that makes no sense. Please explain this to me.
Well, and what I do is, hold on one moment, is basically, maybe it's because I was a math teacher, I don't know. But what I do is, let's just take somebody who has like SSI. So they make $800 and they look for a $600 apartment.
Right.
And they have a housing voucher, and the housing voucher will cover the rent 100%. Well, then I just add the housing voucher to the income, and I call it supplemental income. I mean, to me, that's what just makes the most sense. And right. Then I also go with the gross number. Like, I try to make it work. If it's a private house, I try to take different things into consideration. But if it's a rental, then I could work out a different ratio. But I do understand the reasoning behind the 3 times rule, because there's sometimes that people come to us. Let's say it's a $500 apartment, and they make $1,200, and they say, "Well, I make $1,200. Of course, I can pay the $500." And then I say, "All right, well, you have children. You're going to have lights. You're going to have water. You have a car. You have gas. You have insurance. You need rental insurance. You got to eat. So it's not going to work for you. And that's sometimes a conversation I have to have where we put people in different situations, or sometimes I have to tell people no. But if it's a matter of maybe not having a full deposit, or, you know, a lot of times Kyle makes sure that the application fees are taken care of. Like,
right.
Sometimes the extra $25 is the difference between getting a house or not getting a house. And I mean, literally, it's that $20, $25, $13. Well, you don't have the money. I can't work with you. Depending on the person, depending on the situation, you know, we work it out. And there's been people that have moved in and didn't have a deposit, didn't have any rent. And because of the circumstance, I was able to put them in a situation. Now, I'm not telling people who are listening to this to come to HA Homes.
Yeah, and be like, oh, yeah, I don't have no money. Give me in the house. Like, there has to be some extenuating circumstances. And then there has to be some light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you can't come to somebody and say, hey, can you help me get a house? And then you don't have a job. Like, it needs to be a situation where, okay, I have a job, I'm gainfully employed, but I need a place to stay. Can you work with me for a month so I can get a couple of checks in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I that's one of the things that I really want people to understand, because it's a difference between a leg up and a handout. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we do need that. We need that leg up. We need somebody to give us a second chance. We need someone to give that to us. But we're not. But again, people, all of our wonderful listeners who are tuned in, this does not mean that you are going to that you're going to be able to come in here and get us a free house. This is not how this works, okay? If you're just tuned in, you are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringgold. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back. Don't touch that dial. You are tuned in to Sundays at the Square, only on B106. And we are back. Thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringgold. We had to pay some bills real quick for all of our wonderful radio listeners. We definitely appreciate and love you so much. And all of our live viewers, if you have, I see some comments here that I didn't even look at. Hold on. Oh, no. Hold on just a second. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you may have, please put them right here. Post your comments, post your questions. And give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring Kyle. Oh wait, Kyle's on the phone.
The phone call I got, it wasn't with Hussein here, but we just housed another lady. So
awesome. And see, that's what I'm talking about. One of the things that I love that you guys are doing is the revitalization. It's like you're giving people a place to stay. But on the flip side, Hussein, you are actually investing in these homes and making them habitable. Homes that people have forgotten about, homes that people are not interested in. You know, everybody's trying to move over to the new areas and get their house brand new. You're buying the homes that no one wants, and you're putting in the investment to make them beautiful again, and then giving people an opportunity to be able to have a place to stay. Tell me about that process.
Well, there's a few different ways that you could go about investing in the north side of Killeen or old downtown. One of those ways would be a crowdfunding effort. So let's say you didn't have $5,000 or $10,000. Again, that's where that stimulus piece came in, or a tax return. Basically, if we were to go to a bank, you'd only need 20% down. So a lot of times people think a house costs $20,000, $30,000. They have to have the whole 20 or 30. That's one of the things you work with me for as a consultant. I show you and connect you with the bank. I help you with your paperwork. I help you get your LLC. I help you get protection. Or let's say you're not there yet. You don't have 5,000. Well, you could come with 500, and then we do a crowdfunding effort. Basically what happens is when you go to a big bank, I won't say any names, when you go to a big bank and you leave your money in your savings account or your checking account, you're actually losing money because inflation is 3% every year. So if your interest rate is 0.5%, you're literally losing 2.5% of your money annually.
That's where that math teacher comes in.
So what my company does is my company pays you even on a small amount like that because we're investing in the community. So as we make returns, you make returns. Now, big banks do the same exact thing. The only difference is they give you a portion of a percentage point where we give you a few percent. Now, the goal is not to leave your money with us as a savings account. It's to now condition yourself. It's to make a change. Well, if I put in a little bit, maybe I put in a little bit more. I like this return. And before you know it, you end up owning a home. So what we're doing is we're taking homes that have been vacant 2-3 years. Nobody ever wanted to look at them. And for a few $1,000s, now we can get them rented, and we double and triple their value sometimes. And now we create new homes, new landlords, new business in a place where nobody really wants to invest. And this is a little behind the scenes. Banks get money for working with minorities. So banks can't wait to give us money. They're lined up. They can't wait to give us this money. And we're in a place where nobody wants to invest. So it's like banks get extra points for working with minorities, working with new business, working with small business, and working in areas where nobody wants to invest. So banks are dying to give us this money. It's just a matter of what we don't know. And I'm here to show it. And that's why we're doing so well in Killeen. And if I could say one other thing, that's one of the reasons why this year, being from New York, a brand new Texan, I'm 2020 SBA Small Businessman of the Year, one of 9.
Yes!
Because we're doing things for the community. It wasn't how much money I made. It was what we're doing for the community. I didn't want the award. I didn't do it for the award. I didn't even know the award existed. Shout out to this. But I did the right thing, and it came back. Kyle does the right thing every day. Kyle's one of the only people I know that work harder than I do. Anytime he's always available. Y'all don't call him, let him sleep. But when I need him, he's there. And when he needs me, I pick up for Kyle.
Yeah. Listen, that's awesome. If people want to get into contact with you, if they want to maybe perhaps get a home from you, rent, learn how to invest, be a part of, I'm going to be one of your students. I'm letting everyone know now. So we're here. It is 4/24/2020. I'm going to come back to you guys in 6 months and then again in a year. Okay. And we're going to see and I'm coming in as someone who wants to invest. Okay. I'm using my own self. I know the testimonials. I know we can listen to other people, but I'm one of those people. I want to see how it works for me. So I am coming under his tutelage. I am going to learn, and I'm letting you know, guys, now in 6 months, I'm going to come back. And then in a year, I'm going to come back and we're going to see the growth. Okay. So, the proof is in the pudding. If I can use myself as a guinea pig for all my listeners and everyone that follows me, and we can take this and show you what you can do. I'm a single mother of 3. I'm a business owner. Every dollar I make counts. Okay. So sis ain't into wasting money. All right. So we're going to see how this works for a single mom. What is it? How can this help me? And if you're interested in learning how you can be helped, where do they need to go?
Well, if you want to find us, it's as simple as a Google search. You can Google HA Homes. If you're in Texas, we'll come right up. If you're abroad, HA Homes Killeen will come right up. You'll see the red and white logo. You might see a couple of our mascots, right? You might see Lazy Money, which means the money's not working for you. You might see Busy Money, which is that running money logo. That's on all of our social media. And we're at HA Homes US. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, HA Homes US. Our website, hahomesus.com. You can get merch.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Multiple streams. I'm going to bring Kyle back in so he can let people know if they need to get in touch with him, how to do so. All right, Officer Kyle. Let me take you off mute. Hold on. There you
go. If you want to reach me, obviously you can reach me at kmoore@KilleenTexas.gov, Texas spelled out, or my phone number where everybody usually calls me at 254 423-7553. Send me a text if I don't answer, because I answer text quicker than I can sometimes with a phone call. But yeah, or just reach out to the Killeen Police Department and just ask for the homeless outreach team, and they'll be able to direct you to me.
Man, guys, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, sister, today. Thank you for all of our listeners who tuned in. And Hussein, you had something real quick.
I have one more thing. I work with a lot of amazing people in Killeen and abroad. One of these amazing people offered us a giveaway.
Ooh.
Giveaway. So
I like giveaways.
Anybody who's listening to this, you go to the Instagram page. I put it on Facebook. We'll give you instructions. Basically, you're gonna hashtag busy money. You're gonna hashtag busy money on this post that's gonna go up when we're done with this interview. And I know this is going up on Sunday. Hashtag busy money. We'll give the prize next week. This is a $500 value. So J&J Credit Repair. J&J Credit Repair. If you're from Killeen, they're in Jasper. If not, if you're abroad, J&J Credit Repair, you Google them, check them out. They're giving away free from A to Z, a free credit repair consultation and resolution. You have 1 inquiry, 100 inquiries, whatever it is. Anybody can apply. Tony, Hal, y'all can apply.
Look.
Hashtag busy.
Right.
Right. You're going to see the post. It's going to say J&J. It's going to be on social media. $500 value.
Busy money. He said
money.
And where do we place the hashtag?
You're going to put it in the comment section. On this video. And I'm going to post it on my page. So we just want to see busy money, busy money, busy money. We're going to do a live drawing. We're going to pull the name out the hat. Whoever gets it, we're going to connect with J&J Credit Repair. They're on Jasper if you're in Killeen. J&J Credit Repair. $500 value. Free giveaway.
I love it.
The Toni Ringgold.
Okay. Hey. Listen, and if you guys are looking for a place or you want to get into investment, make sure you tell Hussein Toni Ringgold sent you. Okay? Toni Ringgold sent you. You heard this on B106.
10% discount. You say Toni, a 10% discount on any transaction that we're doing. Mention Tony's name.
Did y'all hear that? 10%. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you for our live viewers. Miguel asked, will this be posted later again? Yes, it will. It's actually going to stay up on this page on B106 Hip Hop and R&B. If you are looking at this video but you haven't liked the page yet, make sure that you like the page. You can also catch this interview and other interviews on myb106.com. Again, it's www.myb106.com. And of course, you can catch me on Sunday mornings, only on Sundays at the Square. I want to thank you for all of our live viewers via Facebook right now. And of course, I love my wonderful, wonderful early morning listeners. You guys are so appreciated. Again, thank you so much, Hussein and Officer Kyle, for coming in today and talking to us. Make sure that you follow at HA Homes US. Again, that's at HA Homes US. And also you can find me at Toni Ringgold Music. That's TONIRINGGOLD. Thank you again for tuning in today. And always, 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 always remember, there's enough sun for everyone to shine. Be blessed.